You may not know that a national monument may be created by presidential decree, whereas creating a national park needs a vote of the full Congress. One conservation group has drafted a proposal to create a national monument to preserve the Grand Canyon watershed, as NAZ Today's Kimberly Kraft found out.
My guest today is Alycin Gitlin. She's a conservation coordinator for the Sierra Club here in northern Arizona, and she is proposing the creation of the Grand Canyon Watershed National Monument. Welcome, Alycin.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me exactly what your plan is.
We are hoping to protect an area north and south of Grand Canyon National Park that is threatened by uranium mining, poorly planned logging projects that will log old growth, and some development projects that threaten to take the water supply from the groundwater. And we would like to protect that area, 1.7 million acres, with a national monument designation.
And why is this necessary? I know from the threats of the environmental, but why do you feel like this is designated, this is worthy of designation as a monument?
This is an area that was recognized by Presidents Harrison and Roosevelt around the turn of the last century as worthy of protection. The North Kaibab has some of the last remaining old growth forests in Arizona, last remaining large old growth forests in Arizona. The area around Grand Canyon is culturally significant to a number of tribes. The seeps and springs that wildlife depend on in Grand Canyon National Park are fed by the groundwater that's below this area, and there are thousands of uranium mining claims that linger in the area. So we want to make sure that this area receives the protection that it actually deserves.
There's also the question of water and water supply, and those communities that rely on that water supply and the ones downstream and the ones that are developing. How is this going to impact their development, their choice of decisions, and those other implications that this would bring to them?
Well, most of the area is national forest land, but things like mining threaten the area with contamination and water depletion. So this would make sure that the entire area is protected from mining. It would also protect the watershed by allowing us to do things like forest restoration projects that can plan to treat the forest to carry the types of fires that run historically through the area, but would eliminate the type of logging that leads to erosion of our soils and introduction of non-native plant species and things like that that threaten to contaminate our streams and damage our water supply. It's Arizona. Our water is very fragile and limited.
As we know, thank you, Alycin. We look forward to continuing this conversation
Thank you.
further on NAZ Today.